and go. Hi, my name's Justin Sayer, and welcome to this new play, Lottie Platchett Took a Hatchet. I'm so excited to be presenting a first reading of this first draft of this play with Tom DeTrinis, Tom Lank, Ryan Garcia, Drew Droege, and myself. Thank you to everybody at La Mama for making this happen, especially Matt Nasser and Chris Ignacio. And without further ado, Lottie Platchett Took a Hatchet. The summer of 1893, an imagined courtroom in the town of Brechtenburg, Vermont. A single chair is illuminated center stage. All voices of the judge, prosecutor, defense lawyer, and courtroom voices are seen but not heard.
Well, you may call your witness.
I call Miss Lottie Platchett, Your Honor.
Mustache.
Boulder dash, boulder dash, boulder dash, boulder dash, boulder dash, boulder dash.
Order in this courtroom. Miss Platchett, you may be seated. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
You may remain seated. Proceed.
Miss Platchett, may I address you by the correct name, do I not?
You do.
Lottie is not short for Charlotte.
It is not. My father thought a shorter name would keep me young and girlish forever. So to please him, I am Lottie.
Did it please him when you murdered him? Oh, boulder dash, boulder dash, boulder dash.
Order!
Objection, Your Honor. My client has not been convicted.
Sustained. Counsel will proceed.
So, what shall I call you, Miss Platchett?
What you call me is on your own conscience, sir. I know what blemishes are on mine.
Oh, two very big ones from the evidence we've presented today. Two people-sized blemishes by the look of things.
I did not murder anyone, sir.
No, not just anyone. Your mother and father. High button shoes. High button shoes. High button shoes.
That woman's not going to.
No, she's fine. She's fine.
Your Honor, if Mr. Bollick is just going to accuse my client without questioning her, surely we can save my client the time and excruciating energy of the stand. She's a simple spinster, unused to all this male attention.
Honeysuckle, 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 honeysuckle.
Counsel may proceed with some questions, please.
Your father was Josiah Aaron Platchett, was he not? The famous mill owner and renowned sourpuss?
Oh, he was, to some, to many perhaps, but to me, he was simply Daddy.
Lights come up on stage left and reveal the Platchett sitting room. Mr. Josiah Platchett, 60s, enters with a newspaper in a terrible huffing mood. He is followed by Molly McGunt, 20s, the maid. She's a little Irish twit, just trying to keep a job.
Am I to be robbed the minute I set foot in my own home?
Your father was the wealthiest man in Vermont? I didn't mean to pester you, master, but I'm right very wary of getting the stink eye from the butcher's boy.
What does that have to do with me?
And yet notoriously frugal.
My father worked very hard for his fortune. He didn't want it squandered out from under him.
Mr. Taintman says he won't give me another chop or nothing till he's paid, in full.
So pay the man, wench. You are given monies for the household bills.
But it ain't enough, Mr. Platchett. When we's ordering what we've been ordering.
And what have we been ordering?
My father thought extravagance in one area would bleed into all the rest. We live simply and honestly in every way.
Who's been eating all this veal? The cruelty alone is baffling. Lottie? Bertha?
And your mother?
My mother is dead.
What's all this hollering about? Bertha Bluckett Platchett enters the room, a very disheveled and low-class lady. She's remarkably out of place here, and the maid even looks better, more put together. What's the truss in your fuss, Joe? You're screaming bloody murder in here.
Mrs. Platchett was my stepmother. I hated her.
Lottie gets up.
Daddy, you called?
Daddy, really, you're 40.
What is the meaning of this butcher's bill, Lottie? Have you been that pederast, been gorging yourself on my money?
Oh, Daddy, I can explain. But
I'm
does
sorry,
he have
miss.
to be here?
I'm sorry, miss.
She wasn't talking about you. The princess meant me.
I want to know right now who's been so reckless with my money and who's been eating all this pheasant.
Oh, Daddy, I ordered it for Pansy. He needs all the strength he can muster if he's going to get well again.
Your brother Panserton is a lost cause, Lottie. It would be better for all of us if he was finally put away in an institution.
He's not a pair of old shoes, Father. We can't just throw him away.
No, old shoes have their use. They're a comfort and a friend. Your brother is neither to anyone. Believe me.
Oh, Daddy, don't be so angry with me. I mean, I only did it for good. I didn't mean to be naughty.
Here we go.
I don't want to be naughty, Daddy. Was I naughty?
I should get to cooking if we's ever gonna eat.
Yeah, this is going to go on for a while.
Oh, Lottie, darling, you're a sweet girl. I know you meant to do the best for that pathetic little pelvisless simp, but you must be more thoughtful.
Oh, I will, Daddy. You're not so angry with me that I can't sip atop of Pappy's lappy, can I?
Of course you can, my child.
That's my cue to be somewhere less gross. Lottie gets on her father's lap and starts gently rocking, gently, secretly masturbating.
You and your father were close?
Very.
Not so roughly, Lottie dear. Yeah, soon you'll be too old for this.
Would you say the relationship was stable and affectionate?
I'm my daddy's favorite.
Then why did you hit him in the face and the head with a hatchet 28 times?
What?
Don't listen. Oh,
Lottie finishes and gets up.
oh, Father, I've soiled you.
'Tis just the liquids of an affectionate daughter to her father. It will dry or crust. But honestly, my girl, you pour too much of your time into that brother of yours. He is beyond your care.
Your brother is an idiot of some kind?
No, my brother was the kindest and sweetest of boys in his youth. Gentle, clever, and limp-wristed. Why, when he was 8, he took fever, a fever from which he never recovered.
Lights come up on Lottie's sitting room upstairs. Molly pushes in the invalid Panserton, Pansy Platchett, 35, a child albino with a page boy haircut and the tiniest little legs.
Thank you, dearest Molly. I be so lost without you.
Oh, think nothing of it, sir. Molly is meant to serve, and that's what she enjoys doing.
You are a credit to your drunken potatoy race, Molly.
I tries, Master Pansy, I tries.
Yes! I would have a word with my sister.
Oh, very well, sir. You rings me if you need anything, or if you're wet.
In either case, you will be my first ring, you lovely Celtic slut.
Oh, how you do nose to charm a girl. Oh.
You'll put the worst kind of ideas in that girl's head.
Oh, please, the ideas were there long before I came along. Besides, she sees my withered yet bulbulous genitalia every time she wipes me clean. What hope can she have?
The fever left your brother sterile?
The sterility came with a cure. When my brother was taken very ill and the doctors assured my father the only course of action was to remove his pelvis altogether.
The whole pelvis?
The whole pelvis. I heard there's been a little family tussle over some sort of bill. How plebeian.
Oh, Daddy is frugal. You know this, Pansy darling. Perhaps we can cut back some of our delicacies.
We have the money, Lottie. We're not paupers. Though by the sight of this old clamp trap, you'd never tell.
Oh, this old house is lovely.
Tell that to someone not trapped in this chair with these jostling little puppet legs. I'm trapped here, Lottie! Just put yourself in my minuscule shoes for one moment.
Oh, I want to understand, Pansy. Please, darling. You know how I love you.
And I you, my daintiest duck, and I you. That's why I want the best for you. A beautiful flower deserves to be in the full light of the sun.
Oh, I'm not so pretty, am I? Do you think Daddy thinks so?
We talked about that.
Oh, you talked about that.
You're a beautiful, vivacious woman. Look at the color in your cheeks.
Oh, that's a rash. Molly wants to rub some sort of feces into it.
You deserve a life, Lottie, with a husband and children.
Me? Oh, who would marry an old maid like me? Oh, no. Those dreams are long gone for me. I mean, I am over 30.
And father remarried with that trash person downstairs when we were both were over 60.
You too harsh with stepmother, Pansy.
What? I firmly believe she is made of trash, hence trash person. But you, my dear, are made of goodness and kindness and sweetness and joy.
Oh, but what would you do here alone?
Well, I wouldn't be here or alone. You see, I can't believe I'm telling you.
Pansy, what?
Molly comes center stage and lights up both sides of the stage.
Dinner is served! So, it is true that you and your brother would not take meals with your father and stepmother?
Yes, you didn't see her chew.
2 tables are set. On stage left, the father's table, sparse and unhappy. Bertha sits down with her own jug of beer. Josiah still reads his paper.
What's on the menu, Molly?
Oh, it's Wednesday. Boiled potatoes dry and pig face.
Just don't face it at me this time. All right, Patty Ann?
She'll think it's a mirror.
Oh, Molly, I could smell you coming up the stairs.
Oh, master. Oh, I bet you say that to all the girls.
Yeah. What culinary delight have you chosen for us tonight?
There's fresh escarole with brandy wine reduction, which isn't even possible with a wood-burning stove, but somehow I manage. A roast pheasant with shallots and leeks, and a brush of rosemary right up the arse.
I bet you say that to all the girls.
Thank you, Molly. It looks delicious.
It is.
Molly goes to the father's table. Anything good in that paper?
Learn to read and find out, wife.
Fuck you.
I've been writing to a young man in Baltimore.
Maryland. Oh, Pansy. That's not even Southern enough to be ignorant in an interesting way.
His name is Albert. Can you not hear the innate musicality in the very syllables? Albert, Albert,
I think I need some salt.
Lottie rings for Molly. Jug's done. Bertha rings for Molly.
Your spiritual intake this evening, wife, is yet again beyond the pale.
It's the only kind of intake I get around here, Limpy. Be glad I get good and souse like I do. Otherwise, we'd have to talk.
Some salt, please, Molly.
Does it need it?
I think so.
But does it?
What?
Martha rings the bell again. Molly rushes out.
But does it?
I love you how you use imitation as a form of sarcasm, my dear.
Oh.
Molly goes to the father's table.
My wife is in need of more alcohol.
Not just that, but yes, just that. I'll cork it myself.
Albert and I have been corresponding for months. His penmanship is highly erotic. Oh, how he dots his eyes.
Molly comes in with a jug of beer for Bertha. You're a good girl, Marley.
What else are you carrying there, Molly?
It's salt, sir.
Will their extravagance never end?
Is that sort of thing even possible?
No, the pelvis is lacking, my dear. The quickly atrophying flesh is willing.
Oh.
They're up there laughing at you, you know.
I doubt that. You maybe.
Me? The fuck is funny about me?
Oh, you sound like a schoolgirl in love, Pansy.
I am, my dear, I am, and I want the same for you.
Oh,
Ah, the salt, miss, if you still need it.
It's not the
finally.
only thing she needs, but it will be all right for the moment, Molly. You may go! Lottie, darling, don't you ever want to love of your very own?
You see, the children despise you, Bertha, and can you blame them?
Why? What the fuck did I do to them? You got mutants for runts, and that ain't no fault of mine.
Blah. You watch your tongue, wife.
Tell me it ain't the truth.
You're a charming, beautiful young woman with so much to offer.
Oh, you're talking about the money, aren't you?
Not just the money, but why not? You could buy a little happiness if you wanted to.
Oh,
You got one spinster daughter who's too shy to talk to a man she's not related to, and what she does with them. Ooh.
Lottie is a good girl, a perfect daughter.
Yeah, tell that to the wet spot on your knee. And that son, shit.
You could have a marvelous life if you wanted it.
I have it.
Don't! Neither of us do. Both of us are trapped here. I'm just the one pathetic enough to admit it.
Anemic little puppet fucker. You know what my mother would have done with a monstrosity like that?
Raise it to marry far above its station. It was my mistake to bring you into this house. You're dirt, Bertha. Wormy, filthy, dirt, and I'll never get clean, will I?
No. And you don't never wanna.
Oh.
It somehow turns incredibly sexual. Josiah lifts Bertha up from behind and ravishes her at the table.
We both deserve something more, something far better than what we've gotten. Losing our mother raised by our tyrant father, kept in line by that rag pick of a stepmother. Lottie, stop watching them.
Hold on a moment.
You filthy bitch. You dirty, filthy bitch.
Yeah, hurry up, my beer's getting warm.
Yeah, you filthy. Yeah, disgusting. Oh!
Oh, do it, Daddy. Do it, Daddy. Oh, Daddy.
Lottie, dearest. Oh,
Well, let me enjoy it for a minute.
Lottie, you deserve more. You deserve a life.
But I have my life here, and I have you, and all my Sunday school classes, and my birds.
Your precious birds. You were known to have raised the most beautiful doves for many years, the birds of peace, for a peaceless house.
Well, so it would seem, sir. I was devoted to my birds. They were my only true pleasure.
And they occupied so much of your time.
Daily.
Lights up on the dove coop. Lottie comes in with a bucket of feed for her precious birds. All three actors not in the scene make dove sounds.
Ah, here you are, my loves. Ruprecht, you're so greedy. Save some for Walinda.
Oh, Miss Lottie, I was wondering about tonight's dinner.
Close that door, you selfish Gaelic witch. You'll release my birds.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I wasn't thinking.
So these doves are only valuable because they're pure. If they get out into the world and soil themselves, well...
Are doves so easy?
Doves are whores left to their own devices. Everyone knows this. Now, what is it you want?
Well, Master Pansy asked for aspic, and I don't know if it's a dinner or if that's one of his rectal pastimes.
Well, just ask him. You know he'll love telling you either way.
No, I can't. Mrs. Platchett has locked him in his room.
What?
She says she needs the space to make the beds.
She's not allowed to do that. What if he should mess?
Lottie hands the bucket to Molly and starts her way out of the coop. Bertha comes out and opens the doors. Lottie, you out here?
Shut that door.
Who are you screaming at, you little frump?
Close the door for Mrs. Platchett, Molly. Apparently she was born in a barn. which explains the smell.
A barn? Oh, no, fancy lady. I was born in an outhouse.
Is there something you want?
It's your mother's birthday tomorrow. Your father wants to have a family dinner to mark the occasion. All of us together.
Well, that's very sweet of him. Tell him I will be delighted.
You could bring that pale pervert if you want.
His name is Pansy.
Yeah, seems about right.
Well, I've heard you've been locking him up again. Don't look at her. She's right to tell me, and you're wrong to do it.
I shouldn't be able to lock a little spooky ghost child up when I'm up there trying to make the beds without scaring the bejesus out of myself.
No one asked you to change the beds. We have a maid.
Well, yes, but I don't mind, really.
If you chose to live the life like the common trash you are, that's no business of mine, and certainly none of my brothers. But I would ask that you would leave us out of it.
In my own house. In my own house?
That's precisely the point, Mrs. Platchett. This is not your house. As far as I'm concerned, you are my father's long overstaying guest. And even he grows more tired of you with every passing day. He has almost as much contempt for you as I do.
Yeah, but he takes it out on this ass. And that kills you, doesn't it? You'll always be daddy's little girl, but you'll never be daddy's little whore like me. Dinner, tomorrow. Be there.
Ooh, she's a vile bit of rough, isn't she?
She's deranged. I'd kill her.
You said you'd kill her.
I did. I don't deny it. But saying and doing are very different things.
Are they? Or are they?
Well, they are.
So you agreed to this dinner? The dinner at which your stepmother believed you poisoned her?
It was Dill. Dill was what poisoned her. We agreed to the dinner. After all, it was for my mother.
Lights up on the two tables pushed together. Pansy sits on one side. Josiah and Bertha are sitting on theirs. Lottie takes her seat near Pansy.
What a remarkable change of venue. It's so rare that I get to see this part of the house.
Well, sir, whose fault is that?
I wonder, Father, whose?
Oh, Pansy, please. We're here to celebrate Mother.
And what horrors would she find if she were alive today?
There's the very reason she is not.
Oh, Daddy, you don't mean that.
I have the salads to start.
I have taken the privilege of choosing the menu for this evening. I do hope it's all right.
Nothing but foofery, I'm sure.
This is just grass.
Standard fare for the bovine. I thought you'd be familiar.
Bovine. I'm Scotch-Irish.
Of course you are.
Take this away, Molly, and bring me out some brown bread. Simple, honest, unperverted food for me.
Oh, Father, must you be such a bore?
Pansy worked so hard on this dinner, Daddy. I wish you'd give it a try.
I accept nothing from that monstrosity.
Father, your wife is right here. She'll hear you.
I wasn't talking about that. Wipe your chin, Bertha, Lord.
Let's talk of Mother. She died when I was so young. I barely remember her.
She was a sweet and simple young woman, beautiful, just like her daughter.
She was all right. Hey, this grass ain't so bad.
No, it would seem.
I remember her hair. I always thought she had the most beautiful hair.
That she did, Lottie. A lovely auburn.
Mother's hair was red.
Auburn.
Oh, Pansy, please.
Mother's hair was red! A small detail, I know, but it seems that one of us in this room should be concerned with maintaining some part of the truth.
And that falls on your minuscule shoulders, does it?
It seems it does.
How you would have shamed her? Be grateful she's dead this day, you abomination.
Daddy, you don't mean that.
I do. When I think of all the pain your poor mother has avoided by dying so young and thus being spared this continual dripping embarrassment.
I assure you, Father, I am currently very dry. This has been a mistake. I wish to be taken back to my room.
Perhaps that would be for the best.
No, no. This dinner is for Mother. I won't have either of you ruin it. Now sit.
Oh, wow. Virgin gets a little loud and everybody listens. I need another beer, Mal.
I have a pairing of wine with the entree, Mrs. Platchett.
I don't mind mixing. It all comes out the same hole.
Charming. Molly! Molly, we're ready for the rump roast!
Oh, will your homosexual need for puns never end?
Daddy, please.
No, let him speak. Let him say his piece once and for all.
Peace? What would you know it? You've created havoc in this house since the moment you were born.
My mother didn't think so.
She was blinded to your charms, whatever they were, but I was not so easily done in. I saw you for what you were, a flippant little sodomite. He couldn't help himself parading his little backside at any man that would darken our door.
I was 8.
Deny it?
No, I was just giving context.
That boy had the devil in his ass, or soon would, and I wouldn't have that kind of sin in my house. We tried everything. Beatings, teasing, even scalding hot enemas.
Ooh, how I love the burn.
Nothing could break him, so I would have to do something drastic.
But Pansy fell ill.
Which presented the perfect opportunity. Doctors are businessmen like the rest of us. Pay them a little more and much can be accomplished.
Oh, Daddy, you didn't.
I think you fucking hear it that he did.
My only son wouldn't become an ass bandit without an ass. Yes, he'd never walk again or grow at a normal rate, but better a pint-sized eunuch than a full-sized faggot.
Oh, shit. This got good.
But he was ill. The surgery saved his life.
Ah, it saved his soul. That was my only concern. To be honest, I'm surprised he's lived this long considering.
You'd be surprised how long spite can keep one alive, Father. It will keep me living long after you're dead and buried.
Oh, Pansy, you take that back.
I won't. And when that blessed day does come and you're laid in the earth, know this, I will laugh like a little faggoty girl thing, and I'll probably suck a dick to celebrate.
Sounds like a nice day out.
Leave this table, sir? Leave this table now, or leave this house?
Oh, you can't do that, Daddy.
I can. I am. This house belongs to me, and I'd rather burn it to the ground than see it defiled with such filth.
You married her. I had nothing to do with that.
Hey, I was on your side for a minute, butt plug.
You'll never be on my side, and mark you now, when that bearded idiot dies, you'll be out on the streets by the time the coffin hits the dirt.
Oh, no, I won't.
Yes, you will.
I mean, yes. Yes, you will.
No, she will not.
Wait, Daddy, what are you saying?
Yeah, tell him, Joe.
I have drawn up a will leaving the house to my wife.
You've done what? Why?
Yeah, say it again for the folks in the cheap seats.
Bertha has nothing. Always had nothing. I won't see a wife of mine live in squalor.
I can't handle this. I cannot handle this.
Lottie, sit down and behave yourself.
No, Daddy, how could you?
Lottie runs out of the room. Josiah follows her.
Lottie! Lottie, you come back here!
So, there a cake for a dead broad's birthday?
Angel food with sweet cream and strawberries.
Good on you, faggot. Good on you. Lights fade to Lottie in the Dove Cove again.
Lottie, girl, where are you? Oh, Lottie, darling, you must understand something had to be done for Bertha. She is my wife, my disgusting wife.
All right.
I know you hate her. There are moments when I hate her myself, but there are other moments when she is my only companion.
I'm here for you, Daddy.
You are. You try to be. But there are limits.
Oh, they don't have to be.
Yes, there do. No, Lottie. Yes, even though we both wish there weren't, it's not right the affection we have for each other, Lottie.
But it feels so right.
I know, my girl, I know, but that is simply because we're so very alike. You have my will and determination. I see it in you.
Oh, I want you to see so much in me, Daddy.
Lottie, come out of the coop, girl, that I may see your face and know you forgive me. I could never live knowing that I had hurt you in some way.
Oh, not me, Daddy, but Pansy. What you've done to him.
I had no choice. Would you rather he brought shame to your family?
Would he? I mean, we're none of us all that popular.
Popularity is not the pursuit of the honorable. I would rather be disliked by all men than lose their respect. And honestly, if the doctor told me without a pelvis, he wouldn't make it past 12. Lottie, dear, come out. Come out and say you forgive me, that you love me.
Josiah opens the door to the coop.
Daddy, my birds.
The doves get excited.
My girl, my only girl.
Oh, Daddy, being so close to you like this, with all these birds.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Oh, oh,
The doves get excited, and so does Lottie.
Very good girl, Lottie.
Oh, I want to be. I want to be a good girl.
The birds start to escape.
Oh, Daddy, you left it open.
No, the door. Damn it.
They try to catch birds, but nothing works. Lottie returns to the courtroom.
After that night, you never ate with your father again, did you?
No, we didn't. Things changed after that dinner. Everything was known and said, and none of it could be taken back. An icy silence fell over the house.
The sound of vomiting.
Well, except for Mrs. Platchett, sick.
Poisoned. They poisoned me. The two of them rat bastard kids. They want this house, and they're gonna kill me to get it.
Now, why would your stepmother believe you or your brother meant her harm?
Well, we hated her, and we said so often, or daily, really.
But she thought you capable of murder. Don't you find that peculiar?
Well, anyone is capable of murder. It just takes the will.
And you have your father's famous will.
I do. But my father never killed anyone, and neither did I.
Scrimshaw, 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 scrimshaw.
Order! You may continue with your questions, Mr. Bollock.
I'm sure this is very trying time for you, to lose a beloved father in such a brutal way.
It has all been a nightmare.
A nightmare that you made true. Hair wax, hair wax, hair wax, hair wax, hair wax.
Your Honor, please, either Mr. Bollock is going to ask my client a question or he isn't.
Bollock, you've been warned.
Fine. A question. How do you live with yourself doing what you've done?
Objection!
Mr. Bollock, I will answer your question. I have trouble sleeping at nights. I lay awake and see my father, not as I knew him, nor as he was for so long in my life, the beautiful, strong, and sensual man. And now, when I close my eyes, all I can see is that last moment, my last moment with him, when he was broken and bleeding. That's all I can see now. My life is forever changed by this event. I've lost a father who I loved very deeply.
And your stepmother?
Oh yeah, and her too. When you look at me, you see a crime, but forget that I'm also its victim. I have lost so much. I wish that some of you could see that.
Oh, she's sad.
That is still for the jury to decide. Let us go to the day of the murders. You woke early.
I often do. I went to attend to my birds.
The remaining?
Well, many of the doves returned. They'd had a rough night. Many were still drunk.
What do you do with a drunk dove?
You wring its neck.
Lottie steps back into the coop, popping doves with her bare hands.
Oh, Robespierre, I'm so disappointed in you. Ugh.
Lottie bops the bird in a fluff of feathers. Molly comes to the coop.
Miss! Master Pansy's asking for you upstairs.
Tell him I'll be along after I take care of these birds.
Another
Oh.
pop and feathers fly.
Oh, surely you mustn't kill them all, must ye?
Oh, must. They've been out in the real world now, and they're no longer pure. And what is a dove if it's not a thing of purity, huh?
Another bird is popped.
Oh, the poor little dears.
Ah, these drunken little sluts will never be happy. Never be happy.
Birds pop, pop, pop.
Oh, miss, I fear Master Pansy is unwell. The missus has him locked up in his room again.
She's not to do that. She's been told not to do that.
Lottie wipes her hands and goes to the house.
So, you returned to the house at what time?
I believe it was after 10.
By that time, at least according to our medical witness, Mrs. Platchett had already been dead.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't see her. I went to unlock my brother from his room and to make some lunch for my father.
You were expecting your father?
Well, he preferred to eat at the house. It was his respite from his busy day. So I unlocked my brother and decided to go back to the coop.
But you didn't. You didn't immediately.
No, I had a conversation with my brother.
On the subject of what?
That vile woman, I hate her more with every passing day.
Oh, leave it, Pansy dear. You're unlocked now. All is right again.
Oh, it isn't, Lottie, and it never can be again. She owns this house, and or she will when father dies.
Oh, that won't be for quite some time. Perhaps in the meantime.
Things will only get worse, Lottie. Can't you see that? We're right on the cliff of having just a proper life or nothing at all.
Oh, not nothing.
Yes, nothing. Just fancy dinners in our rooms and only our own company, me with my dirty correspondence and you with your birds.
I had to kill the birds. Daddy let them out and, well, I'll just have to start again.
You both should.
And yet you told the police that while you were talking to your brother, you heard your stepmother milling around?
I did. I didn't speak to her, of course.
But I did. I'm free, bitch! You fucking bitch, you hear that? I'm unlocked!
Okay, please keep the peace a little longer. I'm going to make some sandwiches for Daddy.
Your father arrived home at 11:30
Yes,
and went into his sitting room.
yeah.
Where is everyone?
Well, the missus is up fixing the beds and Miss Lottie's outside killing her birds.
Good, good, good. I will have a lie down in my study. No one is to disturb me.
Did you disturb your father that day?
I didn't. Well, until
You took him his tea and found your father
dead. He was dead. So horribly dead.
killed with this.
A hatchet is shown.
No.
Imagine, if you will, your sleeping father hiding away from his busy life, taking rest and comfort in his home, when suddenly...
What do you want?
Did he scream, Miss Platchett? Did he plead for his life when you struck him over and over again?
No, stop! Murder!
No, Daddy. I didn't.
Lottie faints and the courtroom erupts into chaos. Oh, Sears and Roebuck, Sears and Roebuck.
Brimstone, 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 brimstone.
Order in the court. Order in this courtroom. Order in the courtroom. Order in this courtroom.
Molly comes on stage and helps Lottie into the chair. We are now in the Platchett home.
Oh, you gave us a terrible fright, miss.
Oh, the lies they told of me, of all of us.
Not me, I hope.
No, honestly, Molly, you were barely mentioned.
Ah, it feels like that.
But it's for the best, Molly. You don't want to get mixed up in this business. Be grateful you're Irish and therefore untrustworthy, or you'd be called before the judge this very day.
Oh, and what things I could tell. Perhaps it's the best for all of us.
You're awake. I want to show you some new sculptures.
Oh, the things I could tell.
Could you tell that you're not wanted here at this very moment? Pay no attention to her. She's been like that all morning.
What if she saw something?
What if she did? We've nothing to hide. We've done nothing wrong.
I know, but you're not in that courtroom, Pansy. You don't hear the horrible things they're saying about us.
Bull-minded people always snipe at their betters. Pay them no mind, Lottie.
But I'm on trial for my life. If they convict me...
If you weren't a wealthy white virgin who's never so much as hurt a fly, this trial is merely a formality. They have no proof. They have no evidence.
Oh, they don't need it. They think I'm guilty. I can feel it every day, sitting there with all those eyes on me. I can feel their contempt, their hatred.
See how now it sounds kind of hot. Are you sure you don't want me to come?
No, you're too distracting, and you'll just make me laugh.
I do have that effect, don't I?
You do.
I shall leave this until later. Rest, Lottie, rest. This will all be over soon, and then our real life can begin.
I hope so, Pansy. I hope so.
Ah, miss, I thought this would help you calm down.
Oh, you're a good girl, Molly.
I am, and I'd like to stay that way. But it's hard, miss, knowing what I know.
Listen, my brother's only told me what you're aiming at.
But he ain't the one I got in my sights. You's the one on trial, Miss Lottie.
So why not go to the police?
Oh, don't like the cops, me, not a one. Besides, what's that ever get me? You know, at least with you, I'm able to better myself.
What do you want?
10,000 to open my own restaurant. All the cooking I've been doing for you two might as well be put to better use.
Oh, well, that's a lot of money.
Not to either of yous two now, just a piss in the bucket to use, but a life-changing sum for the likes of me.
And if I don't?
I'll go to the flashy attorney what keep accusing you and tell him where you really was when you were supposed to be popping them birds.
Ugh, I'd like to pop a bird now. I'll need time to think.
Take all the time you got, Miss Lottie. I ain't gone nowhere. Unlike some.
Lights change. Lottie is back in the courtroom the next morning.
We will now hear the closing argument. Mr. Testes for the defense.
Gentlemen of the jury, you have heard a case against my client, Miss Lottie Platchett. That is plausible. She was home at the time of the murder. She had disagreements with both her father and her stepmother, and a hatchet was found in the house. All this alone could convince you of my client's guilt, if you were but simple and unthinking men. But by the look of you, I know that you are not as simple as my friend Mr. Ballick have us believe. You are free-thinking American men, not so easily led by men of great charm with very little substance. Yes, there is evidence that could prove damning to my client, but it only seems that way considering the light in which it was shown to you. Let me present you now a completely different scenario using the very same evidence. In the morning of the 23rd, Lottie's in her coop murdering her birds. Mrs. Platchett, having locked in the invalid Panserton in his room, is now making the beds.
Here I am, making the beds so defenseless and alone.
Now, there had been sightings of swarthy young ruffians hanging about the place for weeks. We have heard testimony to that effect. Perchance one of them snuck into the house, you may wonder. Perhaps by why have you not considered a clearer and much more plausible subject right in our very midst? Molly McGunt, the maid. She seems like the faithful servant to the Platchett family, but need I remind you, she's also Irish.
Oh, 'tis a grand time of killing, says I, says I, says I.
We can all freely admit that the Irish have been a murderous blight on this country since they first arrived in America, with their drunken, popish ways and their freckled history with the drink. Now, what if young Molly flew into a womanly rage, inexplicable as it is terrible, finally seeing that work as hard as she might, she will never attain the wealth and respectability of her employers. Now Molly is angry, the drunkenness assumed. She picks up the hatchet and seeing Mrs. Platchett doing her job and obviously doing it better, she attacks.
Aaron, go bye-bye, bitch.
Ah, you are killing me, you heathen immigrant, just as politicians so wisely warned me you would.
Miss Platchett dies, and Molly, to cover up her egregious crimes, acts if nothing has happened. You know how they lie.
I'm a real stinker, me.
Molly washes off the blood. She's a maid after all, and goes back downstairs to plot yet another death in her Celtic need to destroy. Josiah Platchett walks right into her trap. Lottie greets her father as she has said.
Hello, Father. I'm so glad to see you in a correct and daughterly way.
I accept your gladness, daughter, drawing a clear boundary for appropriate affection. I will be in my sitting room thinking only of your happiness, which does not involve me at all.
Molly hears this and, knowing Josiah is tired and defenseless, plans her second attack. Slowly, she creeps into the study, sneakily, as is the trademark of her race, only to come upon the sleeping Josiah Platchett and attack.
Top of the morning to you, motherfucker.
Oh God, am I to be punished for my liberal beliefs on immigration? Oh, and so it seems I am.
Molly leaves the scene of her horrible murder to change her gore-ridden clothes and act a sensible and subservient maid again, until her bloodlust overtakes her again, and then she must kill again. Now, that is just one scenario, a plausible one, I grant ye, but just one in a host of others. And therein lies the problem. If you can find but one other plausible story for the deaths of Josiah and Bertha Platchett, you cannot convict my client. In this great country of ours, a person must be convinced only if the evidence presented finds them guilty without a reasonable doubt. If you have but one such doubt, even the one I have just laid before you, you must vote to acquit my client, a simple white Protestant lady whose family came over in Mayflower times, which is something we all can trust. I thank you.
Very compelling, Mr. Testes. Now, Mr. Ballick, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Honor. Gentlemen, my colleague has presented with you. I will grant you a plausible alternative to the case so clearly laid out by the state. But there's a great difference between the plausible and the truth. In this courtroom, we are not looking for flights of horrific fancy. We are not preying on your homegrown xenophobia to make you disregard the answer before your very eyes. This morning coming to the courthouse, I heard a group of children playing. Oh, how the sound of their laughter filled me with joy. And then they began to chant a little game in that childish drone that fills my heart with the memories of warm summer nights when I was a boy. And what was that chant I heard? You may ask yourself, what was it? Lottie Platchett took a hatchet, threw it at her ma to catch it, and when she had seen what she'd done, she threw it at her pa for fun.
Flubberington.
Mastication.
Courier and I.
How can we deny what children already seem to know? And to know so clearly. It even rhymes. Now, my colleague would point out that there are things still unknown in our case against Miss Platchett. How she was so unmarked by blood when she ran for help. Surely if a woman could take a hatchet to her father's face, she would be splattered aplenty. Why would a seemingly contented old spinster suddenly rise up against the people who loved her and kill? These I shall answer for you. But first, I too must take you back. It is the morning of the murders. Lottie, in a rage from the previous evening, goes out to kill some birds. Now, you have heard that Miss Platchett was visited by her monthlies around the time of the crimes.
Gross.
And the best current medical science says that a woman in her blood craves that which she is losing. She becomes irrational, suspicious, cruel. She wants revenge, and her womb, untethered to her pelvis by the yet unknown pounding of the male organ, begins to wander in her body, thus turning her into a conscienceless hormonal killer without reason or will of her own. In her hysterical ravings, she hears Molly tell her invalid brother being locked up again and goes to investigate, but she does not go in alone. She brings with her the Hatchet. She stalks up the stairs, bringing only death and hormonal rage with her, and there she sees her, the object of all her disgust and yet envy, the woman in the role she would have for herself, her wicked stepmother.
Though I have married into enormous wealth, I find that simple tasks of taking care of my family provide me a womanly solace. How I am contented.
The rage builds in Lottie as her womb wanders around her body, making her criminally insane. The splashes of warm oozing blood wake her from her murderous revelry, and she quickly sees she must rectify the situation. How else can she kill again? She discards her stained clothes and lays in wait for her father, the focus of her frustrations, to arrive home.
How wonderful to be in my home, where I, as breadwinner and penis holder, reign supreme. I will be in my study thinking over the problems of the world too large for the basic female mind.
Little does he know disaster awaits him there, for Lottie has learned from her earlier crime and has now adapted to the problem. If she is to kill Josiah, then run and get help to throw off suspicion, she must be pristine in dress. There is only one answer.
Lottie enters the study completely naked.
Hello, Daddy.
Oh, daughter, why? Why kill the only man that will ever love you?
I don't know. I'm just crazy, I guess. Woman crazy?
Lottie kills Josiah with her boobies a jiggling. Lights out.
It's a compelling case based on actual medical science and evidence. And while my colleague for the defense would have you think on other supposed plausible answers to who killed Joshua and Bertha Platchett, I ask you, why not go with the obvious? It's the great afforded us, being men, and thus unhindered by the bloodlust known as PMS. The case is laid before you clearly and thoroughly. If little children jumping rope know the truth, why won't you? Lottie Platchett took a hatchet, and what she did with that hatchet is one of the cruelest and most sadistic crimes I have ever seen in my lifetime. For this, you must convict her. For this, she must be punished. For this, Lottie Platchett must die.
The jury will withdraw to decide on a verdict.
We have one, Your Honor.
But
There's another play in here after us.
You may proceed.
We, the jury, find Lottie Platchett innocent on all counts.
Aster.
Schuppennog, Schuppennog, Schuppennog.
Now, Miss Platchett, you've won. You've won. Miss Platchett, you've won. You've won.
Molly comes on bringing another cup of tea. We are in the Platchett home.
Miss Platchett, you've won. How do you feel?
Dazed, if I'm honest, Molly. Oh, this whole trial has been so harrowing. I can't thank you enough for how you've taken care of my brother and I. Where is Pansy?
Oh, he's gone to the depot to pick up a fella from the train.
Oh,
How things is already changing around here.
yes, I imagine it will all change, but I'm not quite sure all for the better.
Miss Lottie, miss, I wanted to talk to you again about me blackmailing you.
Oh, yes, Molly, I totally forgot. How much did you say you wanted?
10,000, or I go to the police about what I saw that morning.
And what exactly was that?
Well, you was out in the coop killing the doves, as you said, but I never told you about Master Pansy being locked in nowhere.
No, I imagined, I assumed.
And then I heard a thud, a loud thud, the thud of a fat woman falling to the floor, and the sound of wheels.
Interesting. Is that all?
And then you didn't come back to the coop, as you said.
I did.
I was in the kitchen, miss. I would have seen you. I know it was you, Miss Lottie. I know it was you that murdered them both.
Do you? Do you really?
And I don't think I dinna condemn you for it. I dunna. They was a nasty pair, the pair of them, and they deserved worse. But the law's the law. And I got to be paid, so I don't got to be getting involved with them again.
You really don't know what you're talking about, Molly.
No, I do.
You don't. You think I killed Bertha? I didn't. Pansy did.
What?
Yeah, she was going to own this house. He couldn't have that. I couldn't have that either. So I went to the coop and he went to her.
Lights up on the bedroom. These fucking sheets smell like jizz.
I like the smell, stepmother.
Jesus Christ, you scared me half to death. Why we ever decided to put you on wheels is beyond me. What do you want? I'm busy.
I know, taking care of your house.
Yep.
You must be so happy to finally get everything you wanted, right?
Listen. If I got everything I wanted, I'd be riding Maurice Barrymore and drinking an ice cold Coca-Cola with extra cocaine, all right? Not arguing with a mobile potted plant like you.
Okay, first, samesies. Secondly, well, you won't for long.
Pansy takes out the axe. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, God, you got me. God damn it, you got me in the eye.
Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you all right?
Oh, it stings. It's very, God.
Oh, God, I'm just,
Shit.
I shouldn't be allowed to do stage combat. I'm sorry. Should I
No.
get you something? Water?
It's
Props?
it's okay. It's
Surgical
okay.
props?
All right. No, give me, okay. All right.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Listen, that was a lot funnier than I expected.
Yes. I went to check on things and took Pansy back to his room, locking him in so it wouldn't look like he had been there the whole time. It was the perfect alibi. I needed to know that he would be safe. He wanted to kill Daddy too, but I convinced him otherwise. It was too much for his comically short arms to handle.
So you did it. You killed your father.
I did. I waited in the sitting room for him. I knew he would be home and I knew he'd want to be alone.
But he would have seen you. You could have gone in whenever you pleased.
Yes, but then someone would have seen me go in, Molly, and I couldn't have that, could I? I wait in the broom closet, watching him, daring myself to do it. He would lock me away if I let him. He told me so himself. And I couldn't have that life, Molly. I wouldn't.
Josiah falls asleep on the couch. Lottie emerges from the closet completely nude and kills Josiah.
Oh, so the prosecutor was right. You killed him in the 90, so you wouldn't be covered in blood.
No, that was just a happy accident. I did it because it was hot.
Oh, you're a murderer, Lottie Platchett. And now's I knows it. And if I don't get paid, I'm gone to the police.
Oh, Molly, you're too late for that.
Too late?
Too late. You see, in the United States, you cannot be tried for a crime twice. It's called double jeopardy.
Oh, it sounds like a game.
Welcome to the American legal system. I could go down to the station and tell them myself, and there would be nothing they could do. Oh, you should have spoken up before.
But no one would have listened to me.
Now, there you're probably right. So you should listen to me now. You will leave this house tonight, never to come back. I'll give you enough money to get you as far as California, if you like, and something to help you along the way. But you will never speak of me or our connection to anyone ever again. Or
what?
I still have the hatchet. And who's going to miss a little Irish nothing like you?
Lottie, darling, I'm home and you'll never guess the surprise I have for you.
We're in here, Pansy.
Ooh, what's wrong with her?
Blackmail's a very trying enterprise. You spoke of a surprise.
Lottie, I would like you to meet the love of my life, Albert. I know, I apparently have it too, but he's dreamy, isn't he?
How do you do, Miss Platchett? Your brother has told me so much about you.
Well, he didn't tell me enough about you. Let me ask you, Albert, how do you feel about being called Daddy?
Oh, he loves it.
Oh,
End of play.
Albert.
All right. Let's take
Wow.
a little
Clowns.
bow. Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. I'm gonna stop